Hello, my name is Fabian, and today I'm gonna be helping describe like the business in Spain. So, for the general plan, it's to create like a connection with a non-English speaking country, and for the business, we have chosen Spain. And a couple of questions that would like to be answered would be, like, is there different types of housing? Based off of like social groups, or is it just up to anybody that can anybody or is able to get like a nicer home, or like just any other type of home? Another one would be like, what are their principal products in Spain? See if it's somewhat similar to the ones here in the US, or is it something completely different? And what is like the appropriate business attire for men and women? Is that also something that's pretty similar to the United States? Or if not, like if it's something else that's different? And also to just collect general data over the business side of things in Spain. For the background, some things that's known about Spain is like the family firms. They tend to be somewhat more based off of just like family. They want to stay close together, be well connected. They have a good learning process, and it's more based off of just like natural and human resources. A main issue that's somewhat found throughout Spain would be that people who try to go over there from the US, in the US they tend to be just more focused on one thing, or they get like too accommodated here, to where if they've decided to move to a different country such as Spain, where everything is somewhat different, where like the language or maybe even just the culture, they might not feel as comfortable. So it wouldn't really make that much I guess that much of a benefit if you don't actually understand what it's like over there at first. And some of the goals that would be nice to know throughout this assignment would be to learn like body language. Notice if there's anything different between their body language and ours, their culture, see if their culture has anything to do with like the business side of things. Maybe they're more focused on their culture, or they may be more focused on business, like who knows. But yeah, it'd be best to just learn everything about business over there in Spain, and just try to stay on the business standpoint as much as possible. The projection of this assignment is to build a partnership with Spain, and it'd be good to build a partnership, because if there's ever an issue here in the US, maybe in Spain, or like the headquarters in Spain would be able to come over and help us out. And if they were to ever possibly have a problem, maybe we could go over and help them out too. Conclusions. Some conclusions that I had found would be that their way of like greeting people, or a good way to greet people, is by giving them a kiss on the cheek. They find that as somewhat like respectful or like kind to them. Another thing would be that their outfits, like their business outfits, tend to be in dark colored clothes. Some principal products that they have in Spain are most likely cars, or not most likely, they are cars and petroleum. And the housing situation, it's not really based off of just social groups. It's actually somewhat led up to anybody, anybody's able to go on and buy whatever house, somewhat like here in America. And a good way to stay in focus while going over there and visiting would be to make sure you keep a good body posture, like such as body language. But make sure you're also in a comfortable manner. Excuse me. Make sure you're in a comfortable manner, and try to look as professional as possible, because if you go over and you seem all like slouched over, or if you have like such a mean look to yourself, then maybe they might not want to provide you with the best information that they have. They may be like, oh well, if they're not wanting to put in their 100%, then why should we? This information here is pretty good to follow. It is very important, because although it may seem like a bit foolish or like not really necessary, it still is, because it's just the basic matter. For recommendations, I would recommend to try your best to show as much interest as possible. Maybe show respect have respect when greeting others, because that's a lot of like that really shows kindness to them. Time management is very important to everyone, so it would be best to show up on time, if not early. It would really benefit everybody in the business world. And also, if you happen to not understand like the language, like, or if there's like a little language barrier in between, it'd be best to possibly find a translator, or to even learn the language yourself. That is also best, because then you wouldn't have to sit there and struggle on trying to figure out what they're talking about, or anything such of that matter. And for the overall wrap up, like I mentioned earlier, family is a very big important thing to them. They tend to stay together, and they feel more connected whenever they're with their family. And with culture, I guess that's what ties into it with family. That's how they bring in the culture, is through their family, and that's how it would all basically stay connected. But I do believe that the business is what comes first over the family in this scenario. And body language would be a good thing to learn, and to also show as you're over there completing this assignment, and paying attention. Just making sure you're like very focused, or you are showing interest into it. Don't be rude about anything. Show respect, be kind, and just give them your full attention, because then they might provide you with information that wasn't supposed to be said, or maybe help you like find more resources than what you really came for. But the overall part of this is to have a partnership with somebody in Spain, so that we can go on and to expand the business.